The statistics show that anyone over 65, whether they're male or female, if they have a fall, there's a 40% chance that within a year they're going to be in either a nursing home and or dead. One of the big turning points for me was turning 40. I had never really struggled with movement or injury up until that point. It was as though as soon as I turned 40, there was a switch had gone off and I was picking up niggles in my body and going, what on earth is that? Where's that come from? There was nothing that I'd necessarily done that had done that. All of a sudden I've got a niggle in my shoulder, feeling it in the hip, and I put it down to 40's not that old, is it? Movement is medicine for the body. When we stop moving, everything starts to seize up.
So it's not too late at 41 to start, yeah?
Exactly.
Hey guys, welcome back to the 45 channel. Super excited today to be here with my friend Pearce, who runs Club 45 that we actually started together, and continue after our movement assessment and just talk a little bit about training guys over 40, training people in general, some principles, some talking about some values and beliefs that are important. So let's begin, Jan. Just give us a bit of a background. How did you become a movement and strength and movement trainer, and why are you still doing it after how many years?
Yes, it's close to 30 now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how did it all start?
That's a very good question. Realistically, I've always enjoyed fitness movement from a young kid. My dad always had me doing chores, whether it was digging the garden, chopping wood, mowing all of the neighbours' lawns as a young fella. It was probably quite a big inspiration to me in different ways. He didn't really do much exercise himself other than pottering in the garden and so forth, but he enjoyed aspects of life. He enjoyed his food, he enjoyed his alcohol, not necessarily to excess. But as a young kid, I noticed he had quite a big pot belly. And in the summer when we're working in the garden and he takes his shirt off, I was going, I don't want a belly like that when I get old.
That's the way to inspire someone.
Yeah, that's right. And I also, as an adult, really respect his choices and how he enjoyed life as well. And it made me realize that probably in my early 20s, I was maybe a little bit too addicted to exercise and fitness.
Okay.
Ultimately, I moved into training when I was in the UK, and I was training to get onto the British Stunt Register to keep out of it, to minimise risk of injuries, and also to ensure that I was enjoying what I was doing. I had picked up a work as a fitness instructor in a local gym, realised that I really enjoyed it, and the social aspect of interacting with different types of people. And from there, continued to study, moving into different courses and so forth. And as I got older, I learned early on as a trainer. I was probably a very terrible trainer as a young man because I had no mentors around me at that point. And I would train middle-aged women as I trained myself in my 20s, wondering why they were getting injured. And realised that, okay, I need to do something differently. So I invested into myself to do some additional courses, especially based around movement assessment, understanding the older body. From there, it was pretty much removing the blinkers, and I realized, wow, there's such an amazing world of knowledge in our industry out there. And that as a trainer, you never stop learning, that even with clients, with students that we take on board, we're constantly learning from them in terms of how they view things, how they will go about, for instance, doing the movement pattern, the choice they make in exercises. So this becomes really important in terms of the process that we go through. So from there, one of the big turning points for me was turning 40. I had never really struggled with movement or injury up until that point. It was as though as soon as I turned 40, there was a switch had gone off and I was picking up niggles in my body and going, what on earth is that? Where's that come from? There was nothing that I'd necessarily done that had done that. All of a sudden, I've got a niggle in my shoulder, feeling it in the hip. And I put it down to 40's not that old, is it? But something happens in the body around that point. And I'm not 100% sure what that is, but I knew that was a defining mark for me. So it meant that I needed to pay closer attention to what I was doing myself with my training. It meant that I needed to really focus a lot more on how I was warming up, cooling down, the type of mobility I was doing, and maintaining a reasonable amount of flexibility based on the movement patterns that I needed to perform.
That all sounds very familiar. I'm not sure if it happened to me the day after I turned 40, but certainly within that 2-year window after 40, because you have such a huge amount of experience, not only just coaching clients, but also mentoring trainers. I would like to next go to talking about trainers, because as much as I love giving you guys advice on movement and strength training, if you do choose to work with a trainer, it is very important to choose right. What should the viewers look for in a trainer before they start paying them?
Okay, it's a good question. I've worked in commercial gyms where I've needed to recruit trainers. I've run campuses where we've assisted getting students qualified as personal trainers. And that has always been a big eye-opener for me of what are the key markers that we look for in terms of, if I'm taking a trainer on as part of my team, but also for the clients, what is it that's going to be important for them? One of the biggest ones is going to be communication. That ability for a trainer to make a client feel comfortable, to build rapport, to ensure that client feels safe and can trust the trainer. For me, that's probably number one. The knowledge experience comes later for a trainer, but the most important thing from a trainer is that they're open to continuing to learn, to surround themselves with at least one really good mentor that they respect, that they can learn from as well.
Okay.
Going back to the communication, it's really important for them to straight away ask the client that anything that they don't feel comfortable with or feel that they need greater explanation on, to ask. Okay? That they're the ones that are in control, that if they don't want to do something, that they have the right to pull out of that. All right, so then from there, so we talked about communication, open willingness to continue to learn and to surround themselves with mentors. Obviously, from a trainer's perspective, they need to be able to build a business. So it's that life experience, that experience previously of have they run their own business? What is it that they need to do? As you well know, that we have to have different caps on when we're running a business. So we feel comfortable in our skin of being technicians the whole time. We love to train. We love to train people. And so that's where we like to spend our time. But when it comes to lead generation of paying bills, of all of that, those aren't the fun stuff.
Yeah.
The sales, yes, because when it's done the right way, and this is an important note for clients that are picking trainers, is that a trainer should be, rather than constantly talking about money or trying to sell, if they're looking to serve rather than sell, value, they're showing value. Money comes from that. If they're looking to help rather than hustle, the clients pick up on that, prospective clients.
That is true.
Yeah. Absolutely. And our willingness to show who we are, of observing, going out and approaching in the right manner, not going, oh, you're doing something wrong. It's, for instance, Tamas, I notice you're usually in here on a Thursday deadlifting. How's that going for you? How's it feeling? Quite often the person, when they see it's a trainer, go, oh, am I doing something wrong? No, not at all. I'm just wanting to chat about how you're progressing with your training. From there, we might, for instance, go, would it be okay if I show you a couple of things to enhance what you're currently doing? Okay? So that way they don't feel like we're belittling them or talking down to them.
Yep.
And the slight adjustments that we do for them, we then want to see how that feels for them. And that's our ability to show value to them, which is the next, probably most critical thing for a trainer, their ability to show value.
Do you think that in many cases, trainers can come across as the authority telling the client what to do, how to do it from a different role? It's not an equal role. They're not partners. One is the trainer, the other one is the client, and the client needs to follow all the instructions of the trainer. I feel that a more partnership kind of relationship is a lot more effective and a lot more beneficial for both of them. What do you think about that?
Oh, that's spot on. Absolutely spot on. And that's similar to what we were talking about towards the end of the assessment, that what worries me is that when clients are going, when they're at home and they're going to the fridge for a treat, they're saying that all they can hear in their head is their trainer going, don't eat that. So we don't necessarily want that imbalance in the relationship. As I talked about, and what we tend to do as trainers is that we are guides in their journey, and that what a client chooses to do doesn't affect us personally, that it's effectively their choice. And we're not going to be upset if we're providing, for instance, nutrition advice for them that they've asked for. We're going, okay, so here are effectively some choices. And we outline this, as you'll see when we do the whiteboarding. But ultimately, if they choose something that's not going to be beneficial to their body and it's going to set them back on their journey to their goal, that's their choice. And it's they shouldn't feel guilt about that. All that happens is it's a reset of, okay, I decided I would have pizza and wine last night. I don't feel great from it, but I'm not going to beat myself up about it. I'm going to reset, get back on track from today.
I think it's a much healthier approach. Now, let's move on to movement itself.
Okay.
As we both now, not only over 40, actually over 50, feel like it's so important. Even I would use the word critical for a guy our age to keep moving, or if you haven't been moving, start moving. Can you talk about why you have this need to maintain your strength, movement ability? Why is it important to you? And why do you think it's important for every man?
Okay. Movement is medicine for the body, first and foremost. When we stop moving, everything starts to seize up. So for me, for instance, I just recently went on holiday to New Zealand for 5 days. Through that time, I wasn't moving as much or training that I would normally do. Straight away, I felt my certain pressure points, one of them being my right hip, tightening up. As soon as it tightens up, it starts to pull on other muscles, especially into the back. And I never have back pain, but straight away I'm getting low back discomfort.
Okay.
That is a massive indicator to me. I need to move. I need to do some release work. I need to work into full range patterns.
So just because you said the very important word, pain, I just wanted to ask you quickly one thing. Should we always scared of feeling pain? Should we always just worry about it and run to someone for help?
Not necessarily. So obviously it's important to be assessed on what is causing that pain. However, if we're aware of what it is, then we can work around that. Let's say, for instance, it's degenerative knee conditions. So we've got quite a few people in here that have that. Now, the difference, is it sharp pain or is it discomfort? So sharp pain is something that we've got to be very aware of and try and avoid. If it's just discomfort, then it's okay. Let's see how we can make it more comfortable for you. And that might be just adjusting angles. So for instance, in a squat, we might give them an unloaded squat. So we might be using a suspension system to hold on that we're able to use upper body strength for up and down. So we're finding, for instance, people that struggle with lunges that have knee discomfort, as soon as we've got them doing that, there's no pain.
Okay.
We can progress that where they're down to just using one hand. We might have a yoga block under their knee so that they're not doing the full range initially without support, to then lowering that further. So now they're down to lunging, for instance, off the ground and straight up with no pain where they've previously had it. They go, oh my God, that's amazing. I don't understand why that's happened. So one of the things is that the body will hold on to pain. The pain receptors will fire when we move into positions where there's been pain before. If we can try and fool the nervous system, fool the brain a little bit, and quietly under the covers, get them down there through those sort of regressions, suddenly they're able to do what is we'd like them to be able to do and what they want to be able to do without discomfort.
Okay. Sorry for derailing your train of thoughts from why you think it's important that we keep moving. Do you have a few stories of clients, success stories, or even stories that may not end well? But what changes have you seen in people when they started doing regular exercise?
Okay. I'll use an example from here. Claire won't mind me using her. So Claire's 78. She came to us just over a year ago. She's got a background of always being into fitness. She had some health issues and stopped and wanted to get back into it, but was afraid of going back to a commercial gym. Mm-hmm. She discovered this facility, and again, it was that ability to build trust and know that we're not going to rush her into things. So she was quite kyphotic, protracted, struggled to get her arms above a bad right hip. She plays golf regularly 3 times a week, so she's moving and she understands the importance of movement, but wants to be able to move better.
Any guys? Any male?
Yes, we'll come back to that. So a year down the track, she's now hanging from the rings.
Amazing.
Which is incredible.
78.
Yeah, and she's lifting her feet off the ground. Her squat has got great depth now, so she's dropping below 90, whereas previously she couldn't. But from her, she comes every day because it's her happy place, and she sees the benefit of it. But what makes her really happy is how it's improved her golf game. That she was never winning. Now she's hitting the ball further than she's ever done. She's winning competitions. A lot of older women are asking her, what's happened? How come you're so much better at golf? And she goes, oh, because of where I train. I've got greater strength. I've got greater mobility, but they understand my body. And so they adjust things accordingly.
So what I'm hearing is that her goal with strength and movement training is not to get better at strength and movement training. It's to feel better outside the gym and play her passion hobby sport better, which is golf.
Yeah.
Is that something people miss sometimes in this age group? They think their performance matters in the gym rather than what the gym work allows them to do outside of the gym.
Yeah, that's a good question. I think that's something the younger mind is more focused on. The older adults, especially those in their 60s, 70s, 80s here, they're not driven by ego. which unfortunately is a common complaint of males. And I speak from experience, that with that, they're very focused on their lifestyle, of that they don't want to fall. They're terrified of falling because they know what that means. The statistics show that anyone over 65, whether they're male or female, if they have a fall, there's a 40% chance that within a year they're going to be in either a nursing home and or dead. 40%. 65 is still very young.
It is, yeah. Wow.
So yes, a fear of falling, a fear of not being able to do, having the independence to do their daily activities and the things that they enjoy. Those are the key things. But let's go back to older males. We are probably a 75% percentage female member base here. As much as we want more males in, the older males tend to lean out to wanting to do something about themselves. So if they've got pain, quite often they're content to wallow in that self-misery rather than take action and do something. Even though their wives are here, their wives have improved, they're showing it, they're talking about other older males that are here of what they're able to do. I don't know how to take that next step to be able to effectively get these particular males.
Yeah, any theories around the underlying reason to be so stubbornly hesitant? Or
I'd only be guessing, and that is potentially fear that they could make it worse.
Which is very human.
Yeah. Not necessarily wanting to go where their wife is because that's their wife's place that's making her happy. But we've got a lot of married couples that train together here.
And how does it feel when you look at them train together? Does it feel like a conflict or some sort of a compromise, or do they have a good time together?
So the older couples are great. They're really good together. The slightly younger couples that are 40s, 50s, there's a little bit of niggle, but it's for me to manage. But what I've noticed with them is they will do different classes to each other. And so they have their own tribe that they like to hang out with, their gang.
Despite that, you think that the encouragement and support from husband for the wife and from wife to the husband still there, even though they have this interesting dynamics. Is there a genuine support between them, right?
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Yeah, so you asked for a male story. Yeah. Are you wanting a younger male or an older male?
Anyone over 40.
Okay.
Or 35. I'm not an ageist, so I think the person is still the same at any age. Obviously, 45 generally is more for men over 40 and beyond. So if you have a story...
I'll give two. One that, you'll be familiar with both. We've got a young man, Matt, who trains here, who came to us when he was probably 36 or 37. He's 39 now. And when he came to us, so I was quite surprised, I'd expect someone like Matt to be going to a commercial gym. And this is not taking anything away from Matt, because I feel that he's enlightened, that he's done his research, he's come across us and he's gone, and when he's come into chat, he's gone, this is the right place for me. He's not a place where it's showy. He doesn't want to go to a place where it's showy, mirrors, anything like that. He's not about the showy muscles. He's got a young family, very young girls, that he wants to be strong, be able to do all of the things with them that they want to do. And he doesn't want to hurt himself. He wants that guidance. When he came to us, he did have a little bit of low back issue. He was restricted in some of his movements. Now he's an absolute weapon, but he's very humble with it. He looks great. His movement is fantastic. He's strong, and he's quite often quite an inspiration for others.
Awesome. I love that story. Who's the other one?
Then we've got Ron. Ron's great. Ron's quite often the face of Club Fortified. That he turned 84 on.
Wow.
And as you well know, when he first came to us, he was quite wrecked. He'd damaged both his shoulders through COVID, where he'd bought some dumbbells and decided to...
And what did he do?
Trained himself, which wasn't ideal because he didn't know what he was doing, but he was very rounded through the shoulder girdle, so anything overhead was going to lead to some issues for him. He's quite unstable on his feet, and so for him, he was very worried about falling and not being able to get up off the ground because he had that. He'd wrecked both shoulders where he couldn't put any pressure through his arms and shoulders to help get off the floor. And so when he first came to us, I wanted to see what he couldn't do. So we worked through that movement assessment. He couldn't get up from the kneeling lunge position. When we got him onto the ground, he couldn't get up off the ground. So he needed assistance. And no one likes having assistance to get up off the ground, no matter what age you are. He came to us, what would it have been? I think it was end of August, early September. And I asked Ron, so Ron, why are you here? And he goes, my wife trains here and she really thought it was a good idea. And I said, don't worry about your wife. You're here for a reason beyond that. What is it that you want? What is it that you want to have? And he goes, I'm terrified of falling. I just want to be able to get up and down off the ground on my own. I said, Ron, we'll get you there by Christmas. He goes, I don't believe you, but I'm willing to give it a try. Do you remember when he was able to get up off the ground?
Clearly, very clearly.
Yeah. For you guys, it was November, or actually late November, just before Christmas. A couple of months of consistent training and the right training for him.
At the age of 81. Yeah.
That's right.
So it's not too late at 41 to start, yeah?
Exactly. So with Ron, he comes and he trains pretty much 5 days a week. And as he tells us all here, he's not here to break records. He is instinct healthy, that he will listen to his own body. So if he needs a break, he'll take a break. When he first started, he struggled to keep up with the class, but we would modify things and he understood that it was okay for him to go at his own pace and to take rests when he needed it.
Everyone should understand that.
And within no time, he was keeping up with the class. Every day, he brings a smile to my face, and he is truly an inspiration. And watching him and his wife Robin together, of just how phenomenal they are when they're here. They don't see it themselves, even when I'm reinforcing it to them. About they're a true inspiration.
It's such a great way to finish this part of the conversation. Could you give these guys maybe 3 tips, 3 ideas about movement in terms of what's important to be able to do in the second half of our lives, how to choose the right place, the right trainer, anything you think would be valuable?
Okay, sure. We have to look at what it is that we want to be able to do for the rest of our lives, and usually that's geared around being independent. One of the biggest things is our ability to stand up and sit down without compensation, without requiring assistance. And the squat is really important for us to be able to do that. The other key one is lifting things off the ground as well. So our ability to hinge without compensation. Our ability to put things away as well, to carry. If we go to the 3 probably key things that they need to focus on, be the squat, the hinge, and probably gait with balance. Our ability to carry and walk is going to be, if we've got those as a start, then we can progress with those. In terms of picking the right place, if we review what we talked about, where it's got to be a place and with a person that you feel comfortable with. It's got to be somewhere that they're going to listen and adapt to what it is that you want. And finally, that you're getting out of those sessions what it is that will make you feel that you're improving.
Thank you, Jan.
The last thing I wanted to say, you talked about why I'm still in the industry after all of these years.
Yes, of course.
It's what we talked about just before, that we're never in this industry for the money. We're in this industry because we want to help people, but in the right way. And when we're training people, whether it's individual or groups, and we're seeing what they're capable of and that progression, it just brings joy to us, that we feel fulfilled more than anything, that this is effectively our calling and it is our purpose in life. And as we get older, we need a purpose to maintain our youthfulness, our longevity, which exercise assists in with that.
Thank you, Jan. These were very powerful words. Appreciate your time. And you guys, if you like this episode, please click on and subscribe so I can keep doing this work, maintain the channel, and bring you more valuable information in the future. Thanks for watching.